Welcome to my self-publishing blueprint. I'm a Mecca. I want to share with you my exact methods on how I made my first $1,000 a month online through Kindle Publishing. I really wish there was something like this when I started my journey towards a passive income. Everyone was talking about making tens of thousands of dollars online. This is great. But what they don't tell you is making your first $1,000 is the hardest part. I went from living paycheck to paycheck with a wife and a baby to having a few extra $1,000 come in every month from my Kindle publishing business. Prior to this, I had no experience making money online, and I had to learn everything myself from the ground up. For 10 years, I was doing the same thing over and over again. I would tell myself I'd make more money, that life would be different, better. But year after year, nothing changed. I didn't make more money. I went deeper into debt. I was going through life with no purpose. I was not living the lifestyle I wanted to live. I got married. I had a baby. And I realized that this was just no longer acceptable. So I started looking at ways to make money online. I looked at everything. Affiliate marketing, email marketing, Facebook ads. Kindle Publishing was by far the best place for me to get started. See, not only did it have the lowest startup costs, but it offered the shortest learning curve. That allowed me to make my money back in the shortest period of time. So I jumped in, but not without some hesitation and doubt. See, I knew I wasn't a writer. I knew I wasn't going to design a cover people would want to get. I'd never made any money online before. And to top it all off, I didn't even have a Kindle device. So I started researching, spending hours and hours and hours learning everything I could on how to make money with Kindle Publishing. What I learned was there were people who were taking shortcuts, and then there were people who were doing it the right way and looking at it as a more long-term sustainable business. But the more I learned, the more these people became blurred, and it was harder to tell who was who. So I just stopped learning and I jumped in and I published my first book. That book failed and failed hard. I had no clue on what I was doing. I published 2 more books. They did a little bit better, but they weren't really making the money I needed to make. Then I learned they didn't even have a chance to succeed. See, I was doing it all wrong. See, what I learned was I was going about it the wrong way when it came to picking and choosing my books. Having mentors and people more successful than me, being able to reach out to them, ask them questions, take their advice, and apply it in my own way, that was key. I published my 4th book and it took off like a rocket. There was a night and day difference from what I was doing then to what I was doing now. I kept putting out more books, and it got to the point where every book I published, I was making a profit in a matter of weeks. My income? Well, it went from $50 to $500 to over $2,000 a month in a span of 3 months. I now have 1 book that makes me over $1,000 a month every single month. That's why I've put together this framework to help you make your first $1,000 online from Kindle Publishing. Now, I'm not one of those guys you're going to see on Instagram with fancy cars and a big house. I'm like you. I'm just a few steps ahead. So I'm going to show you everything I did to make my first $1,000. Based on my framework, here's what you want to understand. Number 1 is you need to be able to identify and pick a profitable niche and keyword. Now, more than 80% of your success is going to stem from this step. And this goes a lot deeper than just understanding Amazon's bestseller rank. Number 2 is you need to be able to get your book written and your cover designed in a way that's going to stand out from your competition. A great looking cover, it's key, but this is not the only factor that's going to determine whether or not someone's going to pick your book or your competitors. Now, number 3, you need to get your book published not just as an ebook and a paperback, but all the other platforms that are available to you as well. Then you need to be able to maximize your royalties on a global market by understanding how to implement a specific pricing strategy. Number 4 is you have to understand a system for reviews. Once you have a system down for getting reviews, it takes all the stresses out of launching a new book with tons of reviews right away. Number 5 is you need to ensure your books are going to be successful, not just months, but years down the road. So they're making you money months and years later. If you want to find out more about this framework, click the link, sign up, let my self-publishing blueprint guide you to making your first $1,000 online from Kindle Publishing. I'm Emeka. Can't wait to see you inside.